Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at a very cold Mad World Tarot. And first of all, I must apologise. I did say I was going to read on the Princess of Wales showing up at Wimbledon. I did a reading. It was a bit of a strange reading, odd energy, so I decided not to upload it. And of course, subsequently, we've heard she's going to be appearing at the men's final tomorrow. I do hope that she does make it and that she has a wonderful afternoon and is in the best of health and the best of looks, and that it all goes off wonderfully well. So that's what happened there. No mystery with Google or YouTube or anything like that. Just me tapping into some rather strange energy. We're going to go back just for fun because we're in the silly season at the moment. July, August is always a bit silly. We're going with the Tinseltown Tarot. We're going back to, I think it was the Dolby Theatre. I could be wrong. I hope I'm not. For the ESPYs, and we're going to look at some of the little funny moments around that people observed, people have been commenting on. And the first one that I'm reading on now is Venus Williams, who was there in the front row, just a seat or two away from Meghan and Harry, and looking very disapproving, very critical, very unfriendly. She was looking fabulous, I have to say, in that beautiful emerald green halter neck dress, very similar to the dress that Meghan was wearing design-wise. Anyway, but stunning colour, absolutely beautiful. But she was having none of it. She wasn't applauding. She wasn't standing up when the rest of the crowd rose to cheer Harry onto the stage to deliver his speech. She was giving some looks Meghan's way while the event was going on. And then at the end, there was no hugging when the Parkles left very early and very rudely. She was not involved in any of those hugs and, you know, so long and isn't it wonderful and aren't we chums, as Neil Sean would say. And I have to just add that Neil Sean had some interesting things to say about what was going on backstage at the ESPYs, which confirmed the energy that I was getting when I was reading on it. Panic attack, apparently, allegedly. Harry, not wanting to go, had pre-recorded a speech. I had to be coaxed onto the stage. They had recorded a soundtrack for claps and cheers to override any boos that might happen. So that was interesting to hear. It's always interesting for me when I pick up energy like that consistently. It's interesting to hear afterwards that there is some credence to it for me as a tarot reader. It's useful feedback. So anyway, Tinseltown Tarot, we're going to look at Venus Williams. I always thought she was a sensational tennis player. I thought she was just fabulous, and very sad when her health kind of impeded her progress. So we're going to look at her today, and we're going to ask what she thinks about Meghan Markle, what she thinks about Harry and his award, and why. I want to know why she might feel the way she does. And does Meghan know? Does Meghan care? How does Meghan feel about this? Of course, the mum very famously gave Meghan the cold shoulder at the US Open, where she turned up. She'd been told, please stay away, and she showed up. And yeah, it was an interesting little performance when Archie was all of 3 months old. And Meghan was quite happy to leave him behind and fly over to New York for the US Open. Anyway, we're at the theatre in LA. We're at the ESPYs, and Venus is No Love Lost is my working title. And so let's see what's going on. Let's remind you that this is just tarot and it is for fun and entertainment. It's all my opinion or speculation. I just read energy here. And of course, one more shuffle. There is a disclaimer in the box below. Venus Williams. What does she think of Meghan? What does she think of Harry? Why might she have these thoughts? Very odd cut there, but we go with what happens. And does Meghan know? Does Meghan care? How does Meghan feel about it? Because there was definitely something going on the night. And we have the Queen of Cups in reverse. That's the No Love Lost thing there. I'm no fan of yours. Queen of Cups. It's the emotional connection. I've got a bit of a party girl vibe there, our Queen of Cups in the Tinseltown Tarot. Of course, it's a novelty tarot, so it's going to have a bit of a different energy, but we're in Tinseltown and we're in awards territory and parties. There was an after party. Parkles disappeared long before that, allegedly in separate vehicles. So that's interesting. Queen of Cups in reverse, not feeling it, not feeling the love, not a fan, not loyal. Can also be emotionally manipulative, the Queen of Cups, are very cold or manipulative, and so I suspect that that might be one of the reasons why those looks were cast in the direction of the Parkles, and in particularly the direction of Meghan, because of that reversed energy of the Queen of Cups. That is my opinion. Situation with Venus. The situation, we got the Five of Swords, conflict. And that would be the conflict around the awards. The fact that very prominent people came out and spoke against Harry being awarded the Tillman Service Award, including Pat Tillman's mother, and brought a lot of conflict to the ESPYs. It did bring a lot of attention that the awards might otherwise not have gained. But it's that conflict around the situation which was unseemly. And Venus, of course, a very successful tennis player, has won awards thanks to her own hard work, her own efforts, her own accomplishment, her own dedication of focus and talent. And then somebody comes along with little or any of that and causes this tremendous conflict, Five of Swords. And everybody's fighting and everybody's upset. And still the award is clutched at and held aloft and not shared with the people who were on the stage with Harry, as lots of people pointed out. Very interesting energy there. It's very disapproving, that Five of Swords. So how does Venus, according to these cards, feel about Meghan? And we have the Eight of Swords. That is somebody who has got themselves into something of a predicament and has a self-created situation. Always the Eight of Swords for me as a reader. Here we have the lady on the board with the knives being flung at her. Meghan has got herself into a situation where she is the focus of a lot of ire. A lot of hate going her way, a lot of hostility. But the Eight of Swords, as I said, is self-created. So it's self-created drama, self-created predicament. I think Venus looks at it and said, you drew this attention to yourself, you drew this difficulty, you caused this difficulty, you got yourself into this situation, and now you're stuck. And what are you going to do? Because the big question with Meghan Markle is, what is she going to do? Nothing that she has tried has succeeded so far, mostly because whatever she does brings the Five of Swords energy, the conflict, brings the hatred, brings the controversy. And Venus sees it, and she really... she sees it for what it is, in the sense that it's all about the drama and all about the attention, because Our Lady there on that board is about the drama and the attention. It's for theatre. And so it's very interesting that this little novelty tarot deck is giving me that extra layer of story that the regular Rider-Waite would not give me. So I'm just telling what the cards are telling me, passing along the energy for fun. And let's see what she thinks about Harry and his entitlement to this award, or whatever we want to find out. We've got the Eight of Wands. It's interesting that we have an aeroplane in the Eight of Wands, because it is flight, it is communication, it is travel, it is movement and progress and PR. And we have that plane flying off with the suitcase. The suitcase could be filled with cash, of course. Who knows what's in that suitcase? But our legend of aviation is showing up for me in this energy. And of course, these cards just prompt intuitive responses from me. That's how it works here. And so we've had the living legend of aviation fairly recently, which also caused controversy. The same retired naval commander, whatever his precise designation is, I'm sorry, I do not know, Lord West, came out then and said Harry didn't deserve it. He was not a legend of aviation. He could barely walk, let alone fly. And that same energy, who does he think he is? This is all for PR. This is all for attention. We have 2 8s. Meghan is the 8 of Swords energy. Harry is the 8 of Wands energy. Meghan is the one who's got herself into a predicament that Venus knows about. Harry is the one who wants all the good news, the positive spin, the stories going out saying, look at me, aren't I successful? He needs this. 8s are about movement, action, progress after the silence, the pause of the 7s in tarot. And they both need certain things. This is me reading Venus's energy, her feelings about these two. This is not so negative, that's negative. But this is seeing it for what it is undeserved. I am reading the energy into that, in my opinion. I'm speculating. Undeserved energy. And also it's all about the show. It's all about the PR, it's all about the spin. Needs it. And why does he need it? Of course, I don't think Venus is thinking this, but I'm certainly thinking it, and many people are thinking it. What was happening just before this award was announced? The court case, Harry, and that evidence that got disappeared. So let's remember that evidence that got disappeared while we're here. So why does Venus have these less than flattering views of the Parkles, in my opinion, but also I think she pretty much showed her disdain for them on the night. Why? What precisely is it that she doesn't like? And we have the Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups is not terrible energy at all, but it's a bit smooth, a smooth talking energy. It's the seducer kind of energy. It's let me woo you, let me charm you. It's a bit of a schmoozing kind of an energy, unctuous energy. There is nothing in the Knight of Cups that knows about work or sport or achievement or strategy. The Knight of Cups isn't the Knight of Swords, who is very intelligent, very shrewd. It's not the Knight of Wands, who would be the sporty one, the adventurous one. It's not the Knight of Pentacles, which would be the steady one, the wealthy one, the one that you can count on, rely on. The Knight of Cups is pretty flaky. And I think she just looks at the pair of them and thinks they don't have substance to them. They want to be popular. They want to have glowing things told about them. They want everybody to love them. But really, what do they have to offer apart from that big shiny car there? And in Harry's case, the Armani suit. So this is not terrible energy at all. But she sees what she sees. Does Meghan know? Does Meghan care? What does Meghan think about this? This is our outcome of this reading. And we have the Nine of Swords in reverse. This is something that bothers her. I would say the Nine of Swords, stress, worry, anxiety, nightmares, sleepless nights, all that stuff. It is in reverse. It tells me almost that she went home afterwards. Alone, I suspect. That's my sense of this card. It's also the sense that was coming off the reading I did yesterday. And tossed and turned, sat in bed. We know she takes to her bed with a bottle of rosé and a baguette. I doubt the baguette happens anymore, but the bottle of rosé may well, especially if she's bottling it herself now. And sat in bed and thought, oh, why? Because I think she's very camera aware. I think she is very aware of what's going on around her. People were commenting saying that she was looking on the monitors, the cameras, to see what angles they were getting of her as she was doing her grinning and her seal clapping and all the rest of it. So I think she was pretty aware of the looks she was getting from Venus. Sorry, that Venus was disapproving just a couple of seats away. I see energy coming from her, and I think she's aware of it, that it's going to look bad. I'm sure that she's going through the commentary now, and all the people on YouTube who've been commenting, been watching the awards and saying, oh, look at Venus. Venus is having none of it. There's no love lost there. And I think it bothers her. It bothers her a lot with that card in reverse, Nine of Swords in reverse. This is the most difficult energy in this reading. I've been reading Venus and what Venus thinks about them. This is Megan's take on the situation, and it is stressed and worried, trying to ignore it. I get with that card in reverse. I'm not going to let it upset me. It was such a fabulous night. Why should I be upset if the person 2 seats away from me or 1 seat away from me was glaring at me and not standing up and not clapping and not hugging and not any of that, and now it's being picked up and being commented on? Why should I care? She can't steal my glory. I'm going to indulge in my moment. I'm going to love my moment. But I think she's saying it through tears. I get that kind of energy in this situation. That's my take on it anyway. And thank you for watching. I'll see you hopefully on the next one.